back here. We have an exclusive interview with the, uh, let's see here, Chief of Staff of the Army, as well as the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army. All right. We'd also like to promote this Gatorade, sponsored by the United States military. They generously donated one bottle for the interview to each of us. So let's go ahead and get started here. We've gotten 5 questions from our audience members to be asked, and they have decided that they would like to answer the questions together. So the question will be asked, and we will let the Chief of Staff go first, and then we will let the Vice Chief of Staff go second. So, Mr. Chief of Staff, how do you believe the Army is doing recruiting-wise?
Recruiting wise is actually probably our strongest division currently, from the Training and Doctrine Command. They handle our training and our recruiting sections. Um, so right now they're doing fantastic. If I recall correctly, about a week ago, or about 2 weeks ago at this point possibly, there was about 24 BCTs done in like 4 days or something, meaning the recruiting during that period was especially. We're doing great. We're getting a lot of new faces in. Doing fantastic. Jin, do you have anything you want to add on to that?
No, I got about the same answers. It's just it seems that we're improving a lot with recruiting. I've seen a lot of numbers go up recently, and I think we're doing well so far.
Alright, moving on to question 2. In DC, there have been multiple times the criminals have come in the recruiting place and placed explosive devices, as well as come in guns blazing, killing multiple high-ranking and low-ranking individuals inside. How does the Army plan on helping to combat against those criminals, to allow for civilians to come in and get recruited, as that is what the place was meant to be for?
So the issue with that is that the Army is not law enforcement, so we cannot tell when there's a criminal out and about on the loose. The way we would combat that is it's very difficult, as the issue of criminals always having the element of surprise upon us. And that sort of situation makes it extremely difficult to actually combat that situation. On the other hand, law enforcement, usually we'll have them help pull security whenever we're at there with a large amount of people. You'll always see that there's at least one LE branch over there, just usually hanging out, but they're there to help, be an extra deterrent to that. With the new explosives update, it's insanely easy to get those, large, what's the word? Kabooms.
Yeah, explosive devices.
Yeah. It's easy to get those large kills instantly with those new explosives, so it's very difficult to combat, especially since the Army does not actually come with disarming tools. That's restricted to, I think, SS, DSS, HLS, and USMS, if I recall correctly on that. I might be wrong on one of those. So it's hard for us to handle it, but we try to deal with it. Well, usually when we're there, we're calling out repeated suspects that are coming by. When we see the same car that's done something once, we'll call it out. And once it happens the first time, when we're on for the day, we'll be a lot more vigilant after that. But usually that first time, it's very difficult to combat it in the first place when you don't know if there's anything that's actually happening. Because if we're out there being a deterrent to every single person who wanted to come by, we're not going to have those people that are actually interested coming in, since we'll be telling them to go off since we're too scared to actually handle the threat.
Right. Do you guys plan on ever having... I have seen firsthand that those big kabooms kill pretty much everybody inside if it's placed properly. Do you guys have any plans to require any sort of checking, like tool checking before they enter the building?
So Amendment 5 in the Bill of Rights states that you can't have any unconstitutional searches. And the recruiting center is not a place of that. It's not a restricted access place. So necessarily we cannot. However, when we have a repeated criminal come in, we'll usually ask them to accept a search just to make sure that situation isn't going to happen. Because at that point, we do have reason
Probable cause.
to be able to search them.
Mhm.
Yes. Although we're not necessarily Ellie,
Right.
we want to make sure everyone there is going to stay safe.
Right.
And usually the criminals can understand. And if they don't have anything to hide, they don't have a reason to deny it.
Now,
Jin,
if
do you have
a
anything you
crimin-
want to? You can continue.
No,
All right. Let's see. Let's move on to the next question. At the last inspections, the Army had some individuals who, let's just say, were not the best at following orders or doing the proper procedure inspections are supposed to have. What are both of you doing to help train soldiers for better inspections as well as for events in general?
Give me a moment to think about
All right, sure.
that. Inspections are one of those events where it just happens usually. In the future, we're going to be looking to hold trainings to make sure people know the procedures accurately and can accurately follow them at inspections. This will be an upcoming thing, along with the many other reforms we've been doing recently, minor scale reforms at that, to help improve the overall quality of the Army. Before, we just needed the people to fill positions and get things done, but now we're actually looking to vastly improve the quality of our overall Army.
Yes, and we have
Jin,
seen
do you have anything you want to add to that?
no, but I think that we could work a little bit closer with our generals in each division to work on discipline, and I feel like that's something that we're gonna have to work on it a lot. I know it's some people are new, a lot of people are new, and they might just think it's just fun and games, and I don't like to be super strict because it is a game after all, but
very true.
I still feel like at the end of the day that discipline goes a long way, and it it means a lot to show the people in our community that we're not joking around. So like when it comes to a war, we don't want our soldiers to be messing around and having fun and all that. A war's a war, and
Right.
at the end of the day, we need to be disciplined and ready.
Very true. And that does bring me to my next question of does the Army have any intentions on deploying anywhere in the near future?
It's not us. It's not up to us whether we deploy or not. First the Senate has to confirm a war, and then
mainly
we
for
would actually
training
end up getting
efforts, you could
deployed.
say, for training scenarios.
For training efforts recently, I don't know the exact circumstances at this point. However, we have had improving our relations with the state or country of Ireland,
Yes.
and we're potentially looking to do some joint operations and trainings with them. So
We did see
we'll
that
look
as
forward to
one
that.
of the sections on the treaty with the military.
Mhm.
All right. And we have also seen that the military, you guys are doing a fantastic job with recruiting. The numbers are going extremely high. So, good work on that. And this is the final question. There is some speculation that a series of helicopters will soon be added to Fort Bragg as well as in the DC area for certain ranks to spawn in the United States military team. Do either of you have a comment on that?
The only comment I have is that is a developer thing, and for developer issues, we're kept up to date on them. However, I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know how necessarily that is.
All right. All right. Does anyone have anything to add?
Yeah, Army is always recruiting, and enlist today if you want to. We're great fun over here.
Sounds like it. All right. Well, on behalf of the Chief of Staff of the Army as well as the Vice Chief of Staff, I'd like to personally thank you guys for coming on and doing the interview. It means a lot to show that you guys are very open and transparent with the press. And we will be, let's just say, supporting any individual who would like to enlist in the military. I know they offer a lot of great benefits, coming as I am one myself. So thank you guys so much for being on the show, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.